The Bulls and Cavaliers series got off to a great start. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic series. The Bulls stole game one in Cleveland, 99-92. And now the Cavaliers face a must-win situation in game two if they hope to advance. And we know Kevin Love is out. J.R. Smith, he will not be available for game two either. And it makes you wonder, with the Bulls already having got the job done stealing a game in Cleveland, do the Cavs even really have a chance anymore to win this series? Welcome back to the Best Damn Sports Blog. Back again, this time to talk NBA playoffs with you guys. Second round action, specifically the Cavs and Bulls series. We saw the Chicago Bulls steal game one in Cleveland. They put on a fantastic performance, a clinical display from deep. Derrick Rose was 3 of 6. Dunleavy was 3 of 4. Butler was 2 of 6 from downtown. So they were able to score a lot of three-point baskets, which they probably won't get again in this series to that extent, especially that efficiently. But the Cavs, they're in trouble. We know Kevin Love is out for the rest of the playoffs. J.R. Smith will miss game two. And prior to this series, all I said was Chicago needed to win one game, and they will win this series, win one of the first two games in Cleveland. And I believe they will win this series. And they went out and stole game one, and already the pressure is on the Cavaliers to respond. They lose game two. This series is definitely over. No questions about it. And in all honesty, the Bulls had their way with the Cavaliers in game one. The Bulls were up 15 twice in that game, once in the first half and once in the second half. And when you look at the Cavs roster with Kevin Love gone and J.R. Smith gone, specifically their bench, now that bench players now have to become starters, their team is awfully short on talent. You got James Jones, Sean Marion, Dellavedova, and Mike Miller. Those were the only rotational players used in game one by the Cavaliers, and the three other players that they could have possibly used were Brendan Haywood, Kendrick Perkins, and Joe Harris. So you're looking at a short bench when it comes to talent. And they started Mike Miller, which I thought was dumb. I thought Tristan Thompson should have started. But I would not be surprised if that was LeBron's idea to start Mike Miller over Tristan Thompson and move into the power forward position, LeBron, because, you know, him and Mike Miller go back to their Miami Heat days, won championships. So he probably had that mindset where, oh, Mike Miller's been down this road, let me start him, which was a mistake. I could be wrong. Maybe LeBron had nothing to do with it. I think he possibly did. But in game one, the Cavaliers, they looked lackadaisical on defense. And LeBron James, he was too tentative in the first quarter. To start out the game, he was looking to pass when the Cavaliers were down 10-2. Like, LeBron, you are the best player in the world. It's time to put your head down and drive to the basket, either get fouled or you make the basket. You're going to get the calls 9 times out of 10. And I didn't get that from LeBron James. Like, where's your urgency? This is the Chicago Bulls. This is the Eastern Conference Finals berth on the line. You are missing Kevin Love, your third best player, and J.R. Smith, probably one of your 5 best players. So I don't understand why LeBron didn't have that killer mentality heading into game one. Does he not care if they make the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Finals? I mean, LeBron, he was just too tentative for me. And Jimmy Butler, he basically matched him. He put up one more point than LeBron James, and he was more efficient from the field. Like, if Jimmy Butler is going to match LeBron James in this series, the Cavs have no chance. In game one, Jimmy Butler defended LeBron on 73 out of 75 possessions. LeBron James was 7 of 18 when Jimmy Butler was guarding him with 5 turnovers. And LeBron, he did not look dominant against Jimmy Butler yesterday. He had his moments where he backed him down, got easy baskets, but overall, he did not look dominant against Jimmy Butler. And if LeBron is not dominant, this Cavaliers team doesn't have a chance. And the pressure is already on the Cavs for nothing but the rest of the way. Not only do they have to win game two, Now they have to go to the United Center and win a game if they plan on winning this series. And all the pressure is on in game 2. You still won't have J.R. Smith. And the Cavs can't afford to lose that game if they hope to advance. Luckily, he will be there for the rest of the way. But let's not forget, J.R. Smith is a question mark. Back in his past, when he was in New York, he was suspended for something he did to Jason Terry. And then he came back next series against Indiana and stunk up the joint. He was not the same player he was in that first round series that he was in the second. And the Cavaliers better hope that they do not have the same faith with J.R. Smith that New York had in that same scenario. If so, the Cavs are toast. They need J.R. Smith's three-point shooting. And when you got to depend on J.R. Smith, man, talk about a stressful time and a desperate time. But I don't just want to focus all on the Cavaliers. I want to talk about the Bulls, who played a great game in game 1. Derrick Rose and Paul Gasol killed the Cavaliers with the pick and roll and pick and pop action. Paul Gasol got highly efficient shots that were wide open, and Derrick Rose, he got to the basket when he needed to. The Cavs, they switched every time, which was dumb, so the Bulls always had a mismatch. And if Derrick Rose is going to continue to knock down his jump shot from mid-range and three-point range at an efficient level, man, the Cavs are in for a tough road if they plan on beating this Bulls team. And now we see just how much Kevin Love actually means to this Cavaliers team. We thought because he averaged just 17 and 10, oh, he's not really that great of a player. But he may not be as great as we thought he was, but he definitely is an important piece to this Cavaliers team. I don't see them winning the finals without him at all, and I doubt they win this series. But without Kevin Love, now the spacing is all messed up. The lane is more clogged. LeBron and Kyrie don't have a free lane like they used to if Tristan is in there. Kevin Love can knock down three-pointers. Tristan can't do that. So Kevin Love, he brings a whole different dynamic to this roster when he's on the floor. And that's evident in the numbers as well. The numbers show this Cavs team is a much more effective team offensively with Kevin Love on the floor. And the Cavs, they're going to have to make some defensive adjustments if they hope to win this series. Now, I don't think Chicago will knock down as many three-pointers as they did in game 1 for the rest of the way, but the Cavs can't allow Chicago to continue to get uncontested three-pointers. And as well, the Cavaliers cannot switch on the pick and roll into mismatches every time. Paul Gasol is killing them, as well as Derrick Rose. They could play that two-man game and probably beat this Cavaliers team if they continue to switch. So there's a lot of adjustments for the Cavaliers to make if they hope to win this series. I personally think Chicago wins this series in 6. Still in game 1 was clutch. I think the Cavs somehow find a way to win game 2, but they head home for game 5, down 3-1, and Chicago takes it in 6 at the United Center.